Hi, I'm Turquoise Blue. Welcome to my channel where I discuss saving money, decision making, and expressing creativity. Today's video comes from a conversation that I had with my sisters last week, and I thought it would make a good topic to discuss. And what we were talking about was how to get 1 month ahead on your living expenses. So that's going to be the topic of this video, and I like to refer to this as my cushion building method. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. I like being at least 1 month ahead on my living expenses because that means instead of living paycheck to paycheck, I have a cushion that is equivalent to what it costs me to live for at least 1 month. This cushion acts as a financial buffer for me that provides peace of mind, and it also gives me more flexibility when it comes to managing my money. If you're 1 month ahead, you have 1 full month's worth of living expenses saved up in advance. Doing that will provide a sense of security for you if you experience unexpected costs or you have some delays in your income. Once you reach this milestone, managing your finances becomes less stressful. I believe that getting ahead in your monthly expenses is a key step toward financial stability because it empowers you to make decisions from a place of calm and control rather than operating from financial desperation. The benefits of having a cushion of 1 month's living expenses include: number one, peace of mind. You're no longer worrying about covering bills on time because you already know that you have a full month's worth of expenses saved up. The second benefit is financial flexibility. Being ahead allows you to handle unexpected expenses or income delays without disrupting your other monthly payments. The third benefit is increased freedom. Have you ever wanted to take time off from work, but you already used up all of your leave? Maybe you can actually get the time off, but you're going to have to take leave without pay. Or maybe you've been wanting to take a sabbatical. If you have 1 month's living expenses saved up, that could allow you to take time off without pay because you know that your bills are going to be covered and you won't experience any financial setbacks or have to use credit or go into increased debt. When it comes to getting ahead on your expenses, there are many ways to do this, and things that others have done include cutting back on non-essential spending and temporarily reducing their discretionary expenses like dining out, entertainment, subscriptions, and then redirecting that money toward building a 1 month cushion. Another thing that people do is they increase their income by picking up a side hustle, or as I like to call it, side income opportunity. I don't like the word side hustle. So they take on a part-time gig, or they do some freelance work, or they sell items to bring in extra cash, and then they use that additional income to save towards getting ahead. Another thing that people do to help them to get ahead on their expenses is to set up automatic savings. That way, the money is automatically transferred into a separate account, and that makes it easier for them to set money aside consistently. In addition to the mental and the financial benefits that I just mentioned, there are other types of benefits that come from having a cushion. When you do this, you are signaling that you want to attract abundance. A financial cushion tells the universe that you're ready to receive and manage more, and it aligns your energy with prosperity and growth. Doing this also causes you to vibrate from a position of stability. And what I mean by this is if you have the savings, it creates a sense of security instead of lack. And that means it will help you to maintain a more positive vibration. And then that vibration attracts more favorable opportunities and financial flow. Doing this also allows you to make more empowered decisions. When you have a cushion, you can make choices from a place of confidence and empowerment instead of fear or desperation. Having a cushion also helps you to manifest freedom. A financial buffer allows you to focus on your dreams and your manifestations without being weighed down by financial worries. And the final advantage of doing this is that you will be operating from a place of overflow. Having a financial buffer allows you to spend or invest from a place of overflow instead of depletion. And it keeps your energy aligned with abundance. Did you know that the words you use to describe your financial situation can reveal deep seated beliefs about money that may be holding you back? Here's a list of things that you will no longer be able to say once you have built your 1 month ahead savings cushion. You will no longer be able to say you spent your last dollar. You will no longer be able to say that you are broke. You will no longer be able to say your money is tight. You will no longer be able to say that you are living paycheck to paycheck. I hear that one a lot. And you will no longer be able to say that you don't have any savings. All of these things are no longer true because you do have a cushion. Spiritual writer and lecturer Florence Scovel Shinn said, "What you say is what you get." And that's true because your words shape your reality that you manifest, whether it's positive or negative. So, being able to eliminate those types of phrases from your vocabulary is a beginning step towards shifting your mindset and speaking more empowering words that align with financial abundance. Visit my site to check out my latest offers. And while you're there, pick up my book of 21 Mindful Money Mantras for Prosperous and Abundant Living. I wrote this book with thoughtfully crafted mantras designed to help you develop a positive relationship with money and to remove self limiting beliefs. The link is in the description box. Thanks for checking it out. Okay, let's get to my method for getting 1 month ahead, which is done by saving strategically. I call it my cushion builder method. And I'm going to give you a step by step guide to getting 1 month ahead on your monthly expenses. The first step is to list all of your monthly expenses. Write down everything: your rent, your utilities, groceries, everything that you pay for regularly each month. Once you have them written down, total them to calculate and see what your grand total of your monthly expenses are. Once you have your list, rearrange it from your smallest bill to your largest bill. Next, you're going to look at any cash that you have that has not been allocated toward any expenses or any other purpose. So, any other cash that you have, windfalls, unexpected income, or side money that comes in, you're going to begin saving that toward your 1 month ahead goal. So, going back to your list and starting with the smallest bill, you would save the amount needed to cover your smallest bill first. And once you reach that, you move on to the next expense and you continue saving. So, like I mentioned, if you already have a nice chunk of cash, you might be able to start from your largest expense and work your way down. The choice is yours. Do what works with what you have to work with. Looking again at those larger expenses, like rent or mortgage, you can break those up into smaller savings deposits. And so you gradually make contributions until you reach the full amount. In doing this process, it takes however long it takes. But one thing that I've noticed, once you get started, you'll start to see your savings growing a lot faster because you'll find yourself looking for more ways to save. And the last step is to track your process. So you're going to continue this process until you have saved enough to cover all of your monthly expenses. Once you've covered each bill on your list, you will have successfully built your financial cushion and you will be 1 month ahead. This is an example of a monthly budget for someone that is making $80,000 a year and they have a take home pay of approximately $4,666.67 per month after taxes and deductions. And we're going to use this spreadsheet to demonstrate my cushion building method to save 1 month's living expenses. In this example, the expenses are listed in the first column, and then the second column has the amounts due each month. It starts with the smallest bill and works toward the largest one. The cumulative total row shows how much is needed to save to get 1 month ahead on expenses. In this case, it is $4,620 that would be the target to save. And remember, the goal is to save 1 month's expenses, not 1 month's salary. The expenses is what actually needs to be paid out. The next column reflects how much has been saved, and in this instance, it is currently at 0 because no savings have been applied. This column here is the income that is brought in each month. We know that's $4,666.67. The savings goal is subtracted from the income to show the cash flow, whether there is a deficit, a surplus, or a break-even amount. And then this final column here is the current balance of the cushion savings account. And it is also currently at 0 because nothing's been saved yet. So the income column shows that there is actually a surplus of $46.67 each month. So that tells us that the first expense for streaming can be saved without any effort. So when I deposit the $40 into the savings account, the amount saved becomes $40. See, that's the cushion here. And then the remaining balance to be saved is now $4,580. And this is not anything magic. This is just a spreadsheet that I created in Google Sheets. And it shouldn't be hard to make one yourself. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to create a spreadsheet and do simple formulas. So the next expense is for the internet at $60. And we know that there is $6.67 left after paying the $40 for the streaming service. I can apply that toward the 60, or I can just leave it and combine it with the funds that I use to make the next payment. Moving on to the next month, I already know that I should have $46.67 in cash flow if all things remain the same, plus the $6.67, which would be, I'll just quickly add it here. That would be $53.34 that could be applied toward the $60. So I'm sure you're looking at this and thinking it could take a while to get this done if you only do this one thing, which is true, because you would be waiting each month until you had your cash flow to come back and apply that $46.67 toward the next bill, because everything else is more than this amount. So how could you make more cash available to save toward your goal? Earlier, I shared some things that others do, and this is when things like that would come into play. The first thing that I talked about was reducing all non-essential spending. So maybe going back and looking at your expenses, instead of spending $150 a month on dining out, maybe you spend $100. Just doing that one thing, that would increase your monthly cash flow to $96.67. Then you go back to your budget and look and see if there's some other places where you can do the same thing. So maybe entertainment, you say, I am willing to sacrifice for a couple of months and I will cut my entertainment back from $200 to $100. And now you have $196 each month of cash flow. So that was just one of the things that I mentioned. Another way would be to generate additional income. So if you're employed, can you get some overtime, or could you get a part-time gig or do some freelance work, or could you start a small business? Another thing would be to look around your home. Do you have items that you no longer need or that you're no longer using, and could you sell those things? So that's another thing that you can consider doing to increase your cash flow and get you closer to your goal. And also remember, any windfalls that you get while you are doing this savings, you want to apply them toward this goal. So that's any unexpected money. If you get money for your birthday, if you get gifted money, if you win the lottery, if you find money, or if you receive a settlement, or you get some refunds, maybe you get cash back on some of your expenses. Try to take any extra income and put it toward this goal so you can get it done faster. Also, remember, for this budget, they have $400 a month that they're paying toward credit cards or loans or some type of debt. So if you do have debt and you're making your monthly payments and you're not increasing your debt, then your monthly payments should be decreasing over time. So maybe as I continue to pay this debt, it is now at $375 per month. So then that can also increase the cash flow. If you do bring in extra income or you come across some additional money or funds, you would add that to the income. So say you sold something for $50. You would add that additional $50 to your total. So I hope this visual of this spreadsheet is helping this to make a little bit more sense. Combining all of these different methods will help you to build your cushion faster over time. The last step that I mentioned in my cushion building method is to track your savings. The first thing to do is create a visual tracker. So you're going to set up a simple chart or a spreadsheet. You can do it in a notebook, you can do it in Google Sheets, or you can use Excel or numbers if you use a Mac computer. Whatever method resonates with you. After you've set up your tracker, you're going to want to do some check-ins. So when you pay your expenses, that's a good time to review your finances and note any leftover cash, any unexpected income, or small savings from your budget, like maybe you had ended up skipping your coffee run for a few days, or you found a sale when you were shopping at the grocery store. So you'd record that and apply the additional cash flow surplus to your smallest expense. Next, you're going to want to track your progress. Each time you allocate funds toward an expense, update the chart to see how close you're getting to reaching your 1 month ahead target. Doing this gives you a tangible, visible record of your progress, and that will help to keep your motivation high. The next thing to do when tracking your savings is you want to celebrate your milestones. So once you fully save one expense, create some type of a celebration for that achievement, even if it's something as simple as putting a little sticker on your tracker. Then move on to saving the next expense on your list. And the final step is to repeat. Make this a habit, and at the end of the month, you'll see how much closer you are to your goal. Then you can also make adjustments as needed for next month's expenses. Doing this tracking exercise will help you to maintain focus and also create consistency because it breaks this process down into smaller, manageable steps. If you listen to any of my other videos, you know that I am all about the micro SMART goals. So when you reach your goal of saving 1 month's living expenses, you can turn your focus to other long-term goals, like building a larger cushion. You already have the formula, so you just take the steps and rinse and repeat. You can turn your focus to other goals, like building a larger cushion for maybe 3 or 6 or even 12 months expenses saved up. Or maybe you want to do the same process to pay off a debt or save for a big purchase. So in conclusion, I want to say that getting 1 month ahead on monthly expenses is a step toward financial peace and stability. By following my method of starting with the smallest expense and working your way up, or vice versa, you create a manageable plan for building a financial cushion. This approach not only provides a buffer for life's unexpected events, but it also empowers you to make more confident, intentional decisions about your money. With discipline, patience, and a focused saving strategy, you can break free from the cycle of financial stress and start living with greater security and peace of mind. How would your financial reality change if you were able to save 1 month's living expenses and you knew you had a cushion to help you make more empowered and confident decisions? Remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goal of financial independence. Keep going, and your future self will thank you. As always, I wish you prosperous and abundant living. Take care.